What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams. As always, I'm joined by Chris Abacan.
What's going on, everybody?
And Daniel Acevedo.
How's it going, guys?
What is going on? So Shannon is taking a break this week, so you guys did outstanding in my absence, so I plan on taking more vacations. I greatly appreciate that. Usually I shut the show down when I need a break, but no, that was great. And we got lots of positive feedback. We are roughly, I want to say 9 people short of our 500 goal. I'm trying to look right now while I talk. So let's see what it says. We are 10 people shy of 500 on YouTube. So the goal is 500 on YouTube. Soon, so I should probably see that within the next week. So let's shoot for 1,000. So I want 1,000 subs on YouTube by the end of the year. So please, if you have not already, go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you can see when we drop new content. But we drop it every day, right? Monday through Friday. So Monday, Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion, Thursdays Ask a CISSP. I don't have another one of those for a couple weeks. So expect some throwbacks and things of that nature to come up. And then Fridays, everything else. So movies, books, games, and all that good stuff. But without further ado, today's first topic comes from, I got too many mice. The CSO, online.com, and it is entitled VMware ESXi Hypervisor Vulnerability Grants Full Admin Privileges. This was written by Lynn Greiner. So, basically, the gist is that ESXi hypervisors are a favored target for threat actors because many security products have limited visibility and protection for them, is what researchers said. And then the actual CVE is 2024-37085. So the problem that was identified is that this vulnerability grants full admin privileges to members of a domain group without proper validation. It has been used by several ransomware groups such as Storm-0506, Storm-1175, Octotempest, and Manatee Tempest after they gained access to a network to deploy ransomware. So, yeah, it's terrible. Hopefully everyone, since it has a CV number, hopefully everybody's patching their systems as we speak, or they have patched them since the article dropped or the alert went out. But I give it to you, Chris. What are your thoughts?
Again, this is a big vulnerability within the article also mentions CrowdStrike, right? So with any vulnerabilities where you've got the opportunity for privilege escalation, any company, right, that's utilizing VMware ESXi in any capacity should be looking at, one, remediating this specific vulnerability, talking with your MSP, talking with your, if you are information security manager, make sure to talk to your system administrators to have them address this. Right. I'm looking at a technical details document from actually the University of Michigan right now, and They have 3 methods where threat actors can use 3 methods where they can gain access through administrative rights, right? So, for example, and I quote here, if the ESX admins group doesn't exist, any user with the ability to create a group can escalate privileges to full administrative access to the domain joined ESXi hypervisors by creating a group and then adding themselves or other users to it. So that's extremely, extremely dangerous, right? From a ransomware perspective, and really just protecting your own. Once you have multiple people on your network, or at least on servers, really, right? You're talking. They'll be on bare metal hypervisors usually, or many smaller organizations just run ESX on their free modes, right? So they can literally shut down the heart and core of an organization just by getting its administrative access, right? Another one they mentioned was renaming any group to the domain to ESX admins and then adding a user to the group, or using an existing member of that group. And this method hasn't been exploited yet too much. And then lastly, ESXi Hypervisor privileges refresh. Even if the network administrator assigns any group in the domain to be the management group for the ESXi Hypervisor, the full administrative privileges to members of the ESX domain admins group are not immediately removed, and the threat actors could still use it.
Yeah.
Right. So there's fair very for you really all these groups to be able to use it. But again, circling back to kind of the massive ransomware attacks, the ESXi servers, according to the article, the original article stated, were a target of massive ransomware attack back in 2023. So with that as well, really what companies need to be doing is, hey, if you are utilizing this capability, do a security review, speak with your security team, or speak with somebody. If you don't have a security team, speak to your MSP or MSSP. Talk to them. Hey, what are you guys doing to ensure that we're safe? But with that, I'll hand it over to Daniel for his thoughts.
Nice. Yeah, you make a lot of good points. I wrote down some notes for this article. The obvious always is, admin access to ESXi Hypervisor. Never a good thing, right? Having admin access at the kind of almost root level of where the VMs are created, and then having unfettered access to kind of change and manipulate how the VMs, utilities, resources are used, encryption, XYZ, routing, all that stuff. At a root level kind of is a nightmare. Security monitoring tools in general are more geared towards workstation endpoints and servers. But when you're talking about hypervisors on the bare metal or not, or VMware infrastructure per se, EDR or detection or response tools more likely aren't kind of as intuitive or well known, probably day in and day out for management of a VM infrastructure. More common alerts, things that tie into like a SIEM or those kind of things are done. But then it's, a manual process that falls either on administrators or cyber analysts to then know the environment, learn it, what's good alerts, what's bad alerts. And that's never like a perfect scenario or use case, right? Because things can be either faked or mimicked, and it might look like good traffic. And, these malicious actors are very crafty in what they do. I think the larger issue for me, though, is that these malicious actors are able to gain domain access and create a domain group and add themselves that then gives them the admin access to the ESXi. So something in their other detection tools on the server level or their domain controller level is probably missing there, rather than the outcome of them gaining ESXi access afterwards being kind of the focal point. How our audits being conducted, what solutions are being used within the enterprise of these organizations are probably need to be looked at. This is a really, really sophisticated attack. So the fact is that they create a group within the domain controller and add themselves. It attaches an SID or security identifier to it. So usually whenever you create any account on a domain, user account, group account, or anything like that, a security indicator, a SID, is created with it. And that's pretty much what gives you the access and the rights to that user or to that group or whatever. And let's say the person leaves the organization, their account gets deleted, even though it's recreated, they'll have a completely new SID. They wouldn't use the same one. The fact they're able to create that admin group in the domain controller and a SID doesn't get attached to it is even worse, because then there's Windows protocols and things, security things within Windows operating system that's not going to pick up on that access as well. So there's like a bunch of other layered things within this attack that are kind of eye-openers and are really concerning. But the root cause being kind of that access to the domain controller and creating that group account with nobody really realizing it. That's kind of where I would really focus my attention as an organization if I had this kind of exploit done to me. But those are my thoughts, Ryan. What do you think?
No, absolutely. I think you guys covered it in great detail, right? So I think this conversation, and if you get nothing else from this, I think it is contact your security group, your team, or whatever. And like, if you don't have that because you just simply don't have the budget or what have you, then talk to your MSSP, your MSP, someone, whomever is your defender of your network, to say, hey, am I vulnerable to this? Have I properly patched? Because you just don't want to guess in the situation, because it's a stealth attack. You'll never know until it's too late, until you receive the ransomware demands and things of that nature. Yeah, it's been a terrible month, so to speak, when it comes to IT and security. Eye-opening, really. because we are doing a lot. A lot of progression has been made. It's just that there's just been some really huge holes found within those frameworks. So again, defense in depth is not perfect. A layered defense is built in order to give you multiple eyes or defenses on your network. So that way, if something new does pop up, a 0-day and things of that nature, something will trigger, something will be seen. But in this case, this one is a complete stealth attack, right? This is somebody coming in from some manhole somewhere you didn't know you had within your kingdom. So yeah, so just be very careful with this, because ESXi is used by the majority of companies and corporations and things of that nature. Like, you don't necessarily have to be afraid moving forward. You just have to make sure that you patch it out, and hopefully the powers that be will have foreseen any other vulnerabilities that could be, I guess, leveraged against you in this regard, right? As they were pushing out the CVE. So I won't belabor the point. Great episode. Again, thank you guys for holding it down in my absence. I really enjoyed my vacation. First adult vacation since I retired from the military. It was great. Well, but you'll hear about that on Friday. Please continue to like, share, subscribe. We're just about to hit 500 subs on YouTube, so let's shoot for 1,000. We gained, I think, 50 in the last month. So at this rate, we're doing very well. But please continue to like, share, subscribe, leave comments. I'm terrible at responding. It is my goal this week. Don't hold me to it. But my goal this week is to respond back to everybody who left not just good comments, but just comments that I can reply back to. If you said something crazy, I'm just going to ignore you. Hit up all the websites. Hit up all the websites that go by our names, either the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or ask a CISSP. And then you can hit me a person. I'm at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. You can find me on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, Threads, a bunch of other places. And then where can they find you, Chris?
You can find me on LinkedIn under Chris Abacon. Last name spelled A Bacon.
There it is. And where can they find you, Daniel?
In LinkedIn as well, under my name, Daniel Acevedo.
There it is. I can never pronounce it that way, so that's why I always leave it to you. But definitely continue to tune in. Greatly appreciate it. Stay safe. Stay secure.